All right. Hey, this is Reverend Nathan. I am live again here on YouTube, doing some reading, talking, getting to know everybody. My music's doing really well out there worldwide, so maybe people want to know who the old Reverend Nathan is. I got books out there, but you don't read anything from an artist. Some people can't read or don't have time to read, so I'm going to read some of the things from my books to you in my own words and give you commentary on them and things like that. And we still have a poor quality camera, but it's the same one I've been using for over a decade, and I don't even know where it came from. But it's cool. But I put a fancy microphone in the thing, whether it's hooked up or not, just so that it looks like I have a fancy microphone and I'm upgrading things. I turn off this bright light in the background, but then I can't see the book that I'm trying to read. So we just deal with it the best we can. Hey, thank you for coming back here. So I had started earlier today. We did 25 minutes on here, reading from Rants, Raving, and Rhetoric, the continued or further assorted ramblings of an idiot savant, part of my Texas Guitar Legend book series that's available on Amazon.com, where I talk about religion, philosophy, mental illness, the New World Order, things that interest me, Anunnakis, I don't know, all kinds of stuff like that. And every once in a while, I shed some light. And there's a nugget of truth or knowledge or something in there that may actually help you out somewhere along your way. But that's why you got to hide those things inside of all of the rhetoric and idiotic stuff like that. Because only those that seek light will find it. So, continuing on with our cast here today. Let me see. I'm going to continue to read. We knocked out 4 pages earlier, and that took nearly 30 minutes of ranting. So it might take some time to get through this book. And I got a whole book series. So, we might be streaming this stuff till the end of time here. So let's continue. Freedom by the Reverend Nathan Dees. I'm traveling down this road on my way to nowhere's fast. From now on till I go, I just hope the good times last. 'Cause when I'm on my way with my music and my friends, I can just sing and play, and the good times never end. Here's the chorus. They say I'm sick and I'm twisted, confused and addicted, and I ain't figured out what this world is about. They just keep insisting they know what I'm missing, but there's freedom for me. Of this, I have no doubt. See, that's the part that everyone's supposed to learn the chorus and sing that part with me. It's a sing along kind of thing. For my singer songwriter sets, I always do this song. Next verse. I've been in love before, and I felt another's touch. Though thoughts they come and go, well, I long for you so much. 'Cause when I'm in your arms, there's no place I'd rather be. I want the world to know that you belong to me. And then, of course, it rolls back right into that chorus. But why? Why? I'm absolutely in love with you. And I think that I want the whole world to know and everything. But you think I'm sick and I'm twisted, confused, and addicted. And I ain't figured out what love is about. You keep on insisting you know what I'm missing. But there's freedom for me. Of this, I have no doubt. You see that? The wisdom's coming in there. I know there'll come a day when I have to leave this earth. I'll look back at what I've done from my finish to my birth. And when I realize what this life just really means, to know I've touched some lives and had the chance to chase my dreams. They'll say, I'm sick and I'm twisted, confused and addicted, and I ain't figured out what this world is about. They'll just keep on insisting, but I just don't listen. because there's freedom for me. Of this, I have no doubt. That's a beautiful song. You got a picture of the band right here in the book and everything. This is a beautiful colored book. You know, we sell these at our merch table for $10 a piece. It's available in paperback worldwide through Amazon for $9.99 or something like that. I don't know. And you got Amazon Prime, you can get free shipping. But if you're on Kindle, there's a Kindle edition too. As a matter of fact, my whole entire book series is available on Kindle, although not all of the books are available in print. All right, moving right along with my poor quality video, my fake microphone, and my cool background. See, I angled it differently so you can't see my bed anymore. Now it just looks like an aura of brilliance coming out from my head, you know, shooting out of my pineal gland. And I got a Marshall in the background so y'all can tell I'm cool and everything. Don't look as much like my bedroom anymore, but it still is. All right, open borders in heaven. Well, all my books are more or less unedited and unrestrained. And at the risk of offending anybody, well, I write it down anyways because it's literature and freedom of expression. And it's not always how I feel. Sometimes I'm just reflecting a picture of a reality of our thoughts, beliefs, and the things that we create in our own realities through our fears, thoughts, and belief. Uh, this one is called Open Borders in Heaven, if you'll grace me a moment. If anyone that was dissatisfied with life on earth and the inhumane conditions that the God of creation has allowed to exist were to all kill themselves at the same time, their souls could flood the gates of heaven and force the God of creation to give them spiritual amnesty regardless of their right to be there. Heaven cannot exist as a sovereign spiritual domain exclusive to its own practitioners that either by birthright or soul submission and piety have earned the right to enter into the afterlife and go into the benefits of the heavenly realm has to offer. To those that followed the commandments of God exclusively, when there are souls that damned the same opportunities of the afterlife that are willing to make sacrifices to enter into the heaven's gates, knowing that all are God's children. The God of creation cannot possibly defend his own borders or state who has the right of passage to enter into his rest. If all that are his creation, regardless of geoethnicity, creed, race, religious belief system, were in fact led into unbelief or disbelief by Satan, who is also a creation of said God, in a bizarre game of freedom of choice and the right to live as one sees fit. If this very idea seems absolutely ridiculous to you, then you may see the parallels between our current border situation and sovereignty of our nation as a ruling world superpower and a standard of right and good before the known world. Those that are born here represent the Jews that are God's children by birthright, and the legal immigrants represent Christians that earn the rights to enter into God's grace by making application through his Son and entering in legally, while illegal immigrants represent Islamic sinners that refuse to serve God and accept Jesus and are damned to enter and demand to enter into the gates of heaven by force and ruin the quality of the afterlife that was either there by birthright or earned by right of religious practitioners. For those of us that do not follow such obscure ancient religious belief systems, or look forward to a metaphysical afterlife, the United States of America represents our divine providence and our birthright given to us by our parents and our Creator, and is not something that we wish to give up so easily, because all are not created equal. Some are born Americans. Now, that's kind of a nationalistic rant, and it is comparing the fact that exclusivity, you know, in a world where without nationalism, or geo-ethnic separation, where we are just all people, who says what land is what land and who can go where, and there's always this hierarchy of separation based on rank and file and goodness and righteousness or piety or birthright. Well, who has the birthright? Well, the indigenous people, of course, were raped and murdered and their land stolen, and all of the Americas, they would probably be first. But they probably got the land by doing the same thing to somebody else originally. Uh, okay, moving right along. That's enough on that rant. Now we have some easier subject matter to handle here in this book today. We're 11 minutes in. See how that works every time? I can time this stuff out. The Way It Could Have Been. This song was written by my father, not the song itself, but he wrote the lyrics to me. We were literally talking about songwriting. He asked me some questions about songwriting, and he gave me some words on a piece of paper. And I took them and arranged them and then composed a song around it called The Way It Could Have Been. But here are the lyrics, or the literature, the story behind that song. He says, looking back at the decisions we both made, not really thinking about the other. Now it's become so clear to me that we could have been so great together. As time goes on, we drift apart, and I think of you time and again. Though it's too late, I still have dreams of the way it could have been. That's a man that lived in remorse, but he could have been a better husband. I dream of you each night, where I can hold you tight, just the way it could have been. Looking back at the decisions we both made, not really thinking about the other, now it's become so clear to me we could have been so great together. As time goes on and we drift apart, I think of you time and again. Though it's too late, I still have dreams of just the way it could have been. I dream of you each night and pray that I can find you somewhere within my dreams, where I can hold you tight and love you through the night the way it could have been. Yeah. You can always be remorseful after a life of debauchery and everything, and not to his honor, but to my mom's. She was at my father's side at his deathbed, and he did write this song of lament and remorse. But all I can say is, if you got a decent wife, if you got any wife, it's your responsible to love her and to be faithful for her, unless you're just some kind of weird sadomasochistic swinger or something like that. Well, then that's your own business and your own relationship. But if you're like just a normal person, you got a decent old lady, you should love her and be faithful to her, because you won't have to write a song of lament and be remembered by the way it could have been. All right. That's my father speaking to you from beyond the grave. The next thing we got is She Was Loved. This is a beautiful country song I wrote, and I don't sing country songs, so I never did anything with it. But it's about a very beautiful woman that was so insecure that she never really understood that she was loved. The concept might have been taken from she don't know she's beautiful. It's a fine country song, but this is more specifically about someone I knew that the only man that was good enough was her relationship with Jesus Christ, because men were liars and people were evil, and she judged everybody by those bad events that happened in her life. So then when she was actually truly and honestly loved by somebody, she was unable to accept it. So this is called She Was Loved by Nathan Dees. She knew everything about fashion. She knew which clothes to wear, how to put up makeup, and how to fix her hair. She could draw a room with every eye on her, but she never really knew that she was loved. She knew just how to please a man and make him feel just right, wanting to come home to her and love her every night. But she was insecure, filled with fears of flight, because she never really knew that she was loved. Then the chorus. She never really knew that she was loved. She never figured out that she's what I was dreaming of. She knew everything about Jesus and heaven up above, but she never really knew that she was loved. Then the third verse falls in. She knew everything about scriptures and read the Bible every day. Before she went to bed at night, on her knees, she'd pray that she could find a man that would never go away, because she never really knew that she was loved. And then you sing the chorus out. But isn't that sad? So many times in life, that the things that you prayed for, the things that you've hoped for are right there, not only at your door, but in your life and in love with you and wanting that fruition of that manifestation to happen. But your own doubt and unbelief prevent you from receiving it because you don't think it's possible. Kind of like trying to be a rock star or anything. Hell, you can't, if you don't believe that it can be done or that it exists, you limit the possibilities of experiencing that. All right, moving right along. We're at 17 minutes. We've covered another 2 pages. I hope y'all find this entertaining. I don't know. I got to keep creating content, have stuff for people to see and recognize and understand and know who I am and where I'm coming from. So they'll listen to my music, buy my records, stream my songs, ReverendNathon.com or Reverend Nathan, Texas Outlaw Blues. And that's Nathan with an O. Nathon, like Aton, like Atnus, like Byron and Damon and Nathan and Aaron and Tyron. That's my father, my brother, myself, my son, and my son-in-law. Because O-N means light. If you didn't know that, look on a light switch sometimes. It's written on every light switch in the world. O-N. All right. The Manic Me. I love poems like this. I miss the Manic Me. Making music, discovering dinosaurs, meandering in meteorites, moving mountains in a momentous, maniacal moment. Say that, eating peanut butter. Writing songs, building better bongs. Righting wrongs, and never-ending quest to achieve immortality in the psyche of posterity. Obsessive quest for knowledge, knowing things not taught in college, seeing through the veils of intellectualism and a greater understanding of the holographic schism. I made intellectualism rhyme with schism. I mean, come on, man. It's amazing. In a holographic schism, split from right to left until my dying breath in a search for balance in an unequilibrium that sets in motion the tides of momentum in the ebb and flow of the electric universe, only to turn to the mediocrity of normality, wondering who and what I really am, what day it is, and why do I have all these guitars? It happens, for every high there's a low, and sometimes when you crawl out you jump out, and when you jump out and you're on the run and you go with that mania, because it's what people pay to see me go manic on stage. They want to see the Reverend going wild and crazy. Well, that's energy. It's a flow of energy. But sometimes you're so high on that mania, that thought, and that creativity and everything, that when you come down, you're like, who in the fuck am I? And where am I at? And what's going on? Then we just express that in the poem Manic Me by the Reverend Nathan Dees. Moving right along. I wrote this song when I was in the Army, and on a paper towel, no less. Some friends of mine, some other privates, we were doing guy talk, and uh, at the time, the emo girl didn't really exist. When we were growing up as punk rocker kids, there was punk rock girls, like the classic song "Punk Rock Girl." But I Want a Girl was kind of me explaining to them that emo punk rock girl, and it's just a cute poem. It's a really nice song. It's on one of my singer-songwriter albums that's available on Amazon.com. I Want a Girl by Nathan Dees. I want a girl with an earring in her nose. I want a girl that wears old-fashioned clothes. I want a girl that will hold me when I'm blue. I want a girl that looks a lot like you. I want a girl that looks real cute. I want a girl in combat boots, a short plaid skirt above her knees, a girl that I can love and please. I want a girl that likes to read good books. I want a girl that gives me sexy looks. I want a girl that will hold me when I'm blue. I want a girl that is a lot like you. I want a girl that looks real cute. I want a girl in combat boots, short plaid skirt above her knees, a girl that I can love and please. I want a girl that likes the things I like. I want a girl that I can hold real tight. I want a girl that'll hold me when I'm blue. I want a girl that is a lot like you. I want a girl that looks real cute. I want a girl in combat boots, short plaid skirt above her knees. A girl that I can love and please. Another little picture of Reverend Nathan there in his book playing at Pootie's, the world famous Pootie's Roadhouse. But beautiful, beautiful, catchy song. It's like, I want a girl with an earring in her nose. And I got me a rock and roll girl. I mean, it took me a long time, but I got me that 80s, 90s leather clad metal rock and roll woman. Uh, Sometimes dreams come true. Indifference may be the way out. When I read that, I have no idea what I was thinking when I wrote this, but that's the beautiful thing about extemporaneous writing or spirit writing or channeling higher consciousness. Well, we can say that. It doesn't sound like it's the devil doing it, huh? I'm channeling higher consciousness. Or maybe I'm just smart. Hell, who knows? Could have been that LSD I took when I was 14. Indifference may be the way out by the Reverend Nathan. In a war for the energies against two opposing forces that are in fact the outer extremes themselves, duality, I am finding that balanced in the center is the only way through. It would seem as if to turn to God for the answer would still perpetuate the polarization of extremes, and we would still be giving up our energies to the same creative force in an ever present, ubiquitous good cop and bad cop scenario. Aleister Crowley representing one extreme, Madame Blavatsky offering a more theosophical approach of the same Masonic Hermetic principles and religious, wow, I can't even say that, anthropomorphizing good and evil, into God and Satan, while we are still left to learn what we can from all of them. Assimilate the information and turn inward unto our own neutrality, not giving over our power of belief to anyone or anything. To be a sovereign being, bringing together in unison both good and evil, darkness and light, and the balance of the torus in fluid motion, encompassing all in perfect balance of realism. Yeah, I pretty much had to channel that. I got no idea what I meant. No, I really do. There's a lot about that, man. It's about the good and evil and the one and the whole and the all. You know, the exclusion of everything and the polar extremes of this and that pulls you from the center. You know, and even if you were a fractal of the whole and a part of God, well, at some point you'd still be expected to wipe your own ass and figure out things on yourself rather than constantly pushing away from this and pulling to that, or understanding that the encompass of all those things in balance, unity, and harmony is the only way you're going to transcend this reality. I think on that, we'll close Reverend Nathan live stream number 2. And I'll be back to read some more poetry and songs and talk about things like that with you all and the future. Meanwhile, don't forget to go to Spotify and look up Reverend Nathan Volume 1. It is the number 13 album in Texas as of this week on rootsradiomusic.com, one of the world's largest rating and tracking services. And Going Fishing is the number 11 single for contemporary blues right now, and the album itself is number 28 worldwide. Hit the like button, subscribe. I'm going to keep putting these out. Y'all better watch it. Reverend Nathan, y'all have a nice day.